Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Swiss. We got 11 games on this NBA Saturday, but I'm actually in the office by myself tonight. Andy's prepping for the college basketball show in the morning, and Prop Beaver did the Super Bowl video today. So I'm here by myself. So I'm going to go through about 5 or 6 of them. Basically, I just picked the games with teams that weren't on a back-to-back. As far as Friday night goes, it was a good one, man. Started off with the Rockets, and I lost the Rockets money line, but I did push on the +3. That's why I posted the ticket the night before, because I wanted everyone to get that +3. So that push. So the night started off a little rough, but then I got Kings, and then I got Lakers money line, and everyone hated that pick on the live show. Lake Show came through for me, so it was a nice Friday night. That makes 5 winning days in a row. Actually, I think I might even be more than that. It's been a hell of a month for me. Hopefully that continues. So yeah, Saturday, 11 games. I'm going to go through about 5 or 6. Let's go.
Welcome to the Swiss. The Swiss. Swiss. Hey, get the Swiss.
First up, we got Oklahoma City on the road in Dallas. Mavs are catching 2.5 points at home, and the total sitting at 241.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 2-point Oklahoma City win. Final score 115-113 OKC. Injuries on the Thunder side. Oklahoma City's at full strength with the exception of Gordon Hayward. He's not going to make his OKC debut just yet. On the Dallas side, I mean, their whole team is on the injury report. The good news would be Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are both probable, but after that, you got PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, and Maxi Kleber all questionable. Derek Lively and Dante Exum both still out. Betting trends on the Oklahoma City side, 14-10-1 against the spread on the road this year, the 6th most profitable road team in the NBA. Just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6, though. So OKC on a bit of a slide, have not been covering the number recently. On the season, they're 7-7 against the spread as road favorites. On the Dallas side, Mavs just 11-16 against the spread at home this year, the 23rd most profitable home team. They are 3-0 against the spread in their last 3, but all 3 of those games were on the road. They're actually 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 home games. Bad news for the Mavs. Oklahoma City has absolutely owned them. In their last 7 matchups against the Thunder, the Dallas Mavericks are 0-7 against the spread. They're also 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 home games against the Thunder. And there's been 5 straight overs. So in this head-to-head matchup between the Thunder and Mavs, if you've been betting Thunder and over, you are up a fortune. So let's match these teams up on the court. We'll start with the overall net efficiency numbers here. Oklahoma City's been the much better team on paper, 6th in overall efficiency to 25th on the Dallas side. Defensive rating 4th to 26th. But if you scroll down to strength of schedule, we got a huge difference here. Oklahoma City has played an extremely easy schedule. Dallas has played an extremely tough schedule. So these numbers might be seriously skewed. As far as the Oklahoma City offense goes, I do have a positive angle here. So they've been shooting a lot of above the break threes recently. 10th in frequency, 3rd in efficiency, which is not what they were doing earlier in the season. So OKC's really got the 3 ball working recently. That's been a weak spot for Dallas defensively. Not allowing a ton of attempts, just 6th in frequency, but 28th in defensive efficiency against the above the break 3 in the last 10. But if we want to talk about outside shooting, why don't we flip it around and look at the Mavs offense, because they have a huge edge here. The Mavs have been launching threes. They always do. In the last 10 games, they're 9th in above the break frequency, 1st in corner 3 frequency. They're 10th in efficiency from both. So not only are they taking a lot of threes, they're hitting them. That's been a weak spot defensively for Oklahoma City. 27th and 19th in defensive efficiency against the 3 ball. Now, sticking on this side of the court with the Mavs offense, let's pull up the transition numbers. And obviously, we know Oklahoma City probably is the best transition defense in the NBA. But look at the Dallas numbers. They're 4th in fast break efficiency, but just 13th in frequency. So they're good on the fast break, but they're not reliant on it. They're middle of the pack as far as frequency. So I'm not going to let these numbers scare me here. As far as betting this game, you already know the whole world's going to be laying in with Oklahoma City here. I personally think it's a good matchup for Dallas, and I want to be on Dallas, but I really don't want to bet it yet until I know who's playing. There's just way too many injury question marks. Then you add on the fact that it's an afternoon game, and those are always weird. So I'll say Dallas plus 2.5 for pass. I haven't bet this one yet. I'll let you know, or if you're in the Discord, I'll let you know, I should say. So yeah, Dallas or pass, next game. Pistons at Clippers. Clips laying 16 points at home with the total sitting at 235.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 9-point Clippers win. Final score 123-114 Clips. Injuries on the Detroit side, we got a lot of names on here, but pretty much all of them are probable. Cade Cunningham, probable. Thompson, probable. Shake Milton, probable. Isaiah Stewart is out, and Quentin Grimes is also out, though. On the Clippers side, we got nothing. Clippers are completely healthy as of right now. Betting trends for the Detroit Pistons, and these are all green, man. Hottest against the spread team in the NBA right now. 11-2 against the spread in their last 13. 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 on the road. On the season, they're 13-11 against the spread as road dogs. But you know what? The trends are looking pretty nice on the Clippers side as well. 8-3 against the spread in their last 11. 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 at home. On the season, they're 14-9 against the spread as home favorites. As far as this particular head-to-head matchup, Detroit's been covering the number against the Clippers, man. In the last 7 matchups, the Clips are just 1-4-2 against the spread against the Pistons. Also, they're just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games against Detroit. So Detroit's had no problem going out to LA. This is crazy, man. This Pistons team's got some nice looking trends. Before we get into this one, we need to mention that these two teams just played. It was literally a week ago, or 8 days ago, February 2nd. It was in Detroit. Final score was 136-125. Clips won, but the line was 12. Pistons did cover the number. So let's take a look at the overall net efficiency numbers in the last 10 games here. Not as big of a gap as you would think between these two teams. Actually, Clippers are 7th, Pistons are 18th. Detroit 12th in overall offensive rating. Okay, Pistons. Maybe the gap between these two teams isn't quite as extreme as we think. And then when we scroll down and look at the strength of schedule, Pistons 14th, Clippers 24th. Pistons have even played a stronger schedule, and still, that gap isn't that crazy big. When we dig a little deeper into the matchup, though, what kills the Pistons here is their lack of scoring on the interior, specifically at the rim. In the last 10 games, Detroit just 24th in rim frequency, 26th in efficiency. The reason that's important is that's the weakness of the Clippers defense, 22nd and 18th. So Pistons don't really have a presence where you need to have a presence to give this Clippers defense problems. And keep in mind, this is a Pistons offense that just recently lost its leading scorer. In the last 10 games, Bojan leads the Pistons in points per game, and Alec Burks is 5th. He's also gone. So you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the Raptors when they first made the RJ Barrett trade. If you remember, they were playing with a ton of energy, and they were covering the number for like 2.5 straight weeks. I think I bet them like 7 out of 8 games, and I had a good winning percentage with them too. But it wasn't that the team was better. It was just that they were playing with a new energy, right? RJ returned to his hometown, quickly was getting them fired up. They just had an energy to them. Eventually that energy fades. And I feel like maybe that's what we're seeing from the Pistons here. I mean, they're covering the number. They even won a couple games. Eventually, the lack of offensive scoring talent is going to catch up with them. Is it going to be in this game? Who knows? But eventually it's going to happen. As far as betting this game, I mean, I can't not take the Pistons. They're literally the hottest team against the spread in the NBA right now, and we're getting 16 points. I mean, like I said, eventually this Pistons flame is going to burn out, and I don't love this matchup. I actually think the Clips are a tough matchup for them, but this is probably going to be one of my smaller bets. Give me Detroit plus 16 for something light next game. San Antonio on the road in Brooklyn here. Nets laying 5.5 points at home, and the total sitting at 230.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 3-point Nets win. Final score 116-113 Brooklyn. Injuries on the San Antonio side, nothing. We have nobody on the injury report for the Spurs as of right now. On the Brooklyn side, Nets are still missing Day'Ron Sharpe and Cam Johnson. Looks like everyone else is healthy though. Dennis Schroeder going to get the start at point guard for the Nets. Ben Simmons is active. Lonnie Walker most likely back. He's been banged up. He's listed as probable. So Nets missing a couple pieces, but overall they're in decent shape. Betting trends on the Spurs side. San Antonio 1-5 against the spread in their last 6, 11-14 against the spread on the season as road dogs. The under's been hitting 7-1 in the last 8 Spurs games. The under. On the Brooklyn side, some ugly looking trends here. 7-22-1 against the spread in their last 30. That's bad. 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 at home. Also bad. But 8-3 against the spread as home favorites this year. This has been the spot you can bet the Nets at home laying points. They've handled their business. 8-3 against the spread. As far as this particular head-to-head matchup, Brooklyn's gotten the better of the Spurs. Nets are 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 matchups against San Antonio. 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 home matchups against San Antonio. So let's match these teams up on the court, and we'll start with the overall net ratings in the last 10 games. Obviously, you probably didn't need me to tell you this. Both these teams struggling, man. 27th in net efficiency to 19th. Both offenses in the bottom 7 of the NBA in the last 10. But silver lining, if we scroll down to strength of schedule, San Antonio 9th, Brooklyn 2nd. So both these teams have played extremely strong schedules recently. Both might be slightly better than the recent numbers indicate. As far as the matchup for the Spurs offense, kind of a tough game to handicap, to be honest. San Antonio has somewhat of an interior scoring attack, I guess. I mean, it's not much. 34% of their shot attempts do come at the basket. That's top 10 in the NBA. The weird part about it is Brooklyn's been elite protecting the basket all season, or the large majority of the season. But in the last 10 games, just 13th in defensive efficiency protecting the rim. Now, is that because they played a crazy tough schedule? Impossible to say without sitting back and watching 10 games of film. I'm going to go with it's probably because they played a strong schedule, because we know the Nets have a really strong interior defense. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm having trouble handicapping this game, if I'm being honest. One definite positive angle for San Antonio's offense would be that they push the tempo. They're 6th in fast break frequency. They're not particularly good at it, 17th in efficiency, but they do try it a lot. The reason that's important is that's been a weakness of the Nets defense all year, defending the fast break. And you know what? Spurs also have the edge in the offensive rebounding department. The last 10 games, they're 4th. Brooklyn's defense is 20th. So that's a nice little edge for the Spurs. But look one row down in this graphic. Look at those turnover numbers, man. That might be a problem. Spurs have really struggled to protect the basketball, and the Nets defense can definitely create turnovers. So as of right now, I really don't know how I feel about the matchup for the Spurs offense against the Nets defense. But when we flip it over to the other side of the court, this is where we can start to find some angles for Brooklyn. This sort of gets a little concerning for the Spurs. As we know, all season, the Nets have lived and died by their jump shooting. Look at all the Nets jump shooting numbers in the last 10 games. Even against the second strongest schedule in the NBA, the shooting has still been there for the Nets. They still have efficient shooting numbers. Look at the Spurs defensive efficiency numbers against the mid-range shot and the above the break three. 27th and 23rd. Great matchup there for Brooklyn. That mismatch alone is enough to keep me off the Spurs here. Now, do I have the balls to lay 5.5 points with Brooklyn? Probably not. As of right now, it's a pass. I would only lay it with the Nets here, though. I will not touch the Spurs with that jump shooting mismatch. I'll say Nets or pass. Probably going to be a pass on this one. There's plenty of other games on the board. It's about 5 games where I haven't even gotten a chance to look at them yet. So this, as of right now, this is, I'll say Brooklyn or pass. Next game. Chicago on the road in Orlando. Magic catching 4.5 points at home. The total sitting at 217.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we should see a 3-point Orlando win. Final score 113-110 Magic. Injuries on the Chicago side. Patrick Williams is still out. Other than that, the Bulls should be at full strength, though. Kobe White, Caruso, and Torrey Craig all listed as probable. On the Orlando side, we have nobody. After being riddled with injuries for the first 3 months of the season, Magic have been in great shape in that department. Betting trends for Chicago, and we got a couple nice looking ones here. Bulls are 7-3 against the spread in their last 10, 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 on the road. On the season, they're just 7-10 against the spread as road dogs, though they've been much better as road favorites. On the Orlando side, the trends look even better. Magic 16-7 against the spread at home this year, second most profitable home team in the NBA. They're 6-1 against the spread in their last 7, so the Magic have been covering the number recently. And they're 8-3 against the spread as home favorites this year. So those are some solid looking trends for the Magic here. So let's match these two teams up on the court. We'll start with the net efficiency numbers from the last 10 games. Pretty much neck and neck here, 11th and 12th. Both these offenses run a very slow pace. Orlando's offense has been struggling a bit back at 22nd. And if we scroll down the strength of schedule, both these teams have played a cupcake schedule recently. I mean, 30th and 26th. So no wonder both these teams have such nice looking trends recently. They're playing nobodies. Now, when we pull up the matchup for the Bulls offense, right off the bat, I'm seeing something I like here. So when you're handicapping a Bulls game, basically you're looking at anything inside the 3-point line because they don't have much perimeter shooting, but the Bulls will shoot from anywhere inside the 3-point line. They'll take that long mid-range shot all day. And when we look at Orlando's defensive efficiency numbers inside the 3-point line in the last 10 games, we might have a problem here. Orlando defensive efficiency at the rim, in the paint, and against the long mid-range shot. 24th, 29th, and 25th, and that's against a cupcake schedule. Chicago should also get plenty of trips to the free throw line here. Bulls are 12th in free throw rate in the last 10. Orlando's 24th. The only positive angle on this side of the ball for the Magic is turnovers, and that's been their strength all year. They're first in forced turnover rate in the last 10. They're also first in the full season. Bulls offensively back at 19th. But you know what? Since we're talking about turnovers, when we flip it over to the other side and look at the matchup for the Bulls defense, we have the same exact mismatch. Bulls are 10th in forced turnover rate in the last 10. Orlando 25th turning the ball over. So Orlando's going to take some possessions away, but they're going to give them right back. Chicago also has a nice rebounding edge on this side of the ball. They're first in defensive rebounding rate in the last 10. The only angle I like for the Magic offense of this one is above the break 3-point shooting. Chicago's really struggled to defend those shots, really struggled to defend the three ball, 30th and 22nd in the last 10 games against the above the break three. And the Magic do have some really nice looking shooting numbers from out there, 15th and 6th in the last 10 games. But look what happens when I change it from the last 10 games to the last 5 games. Orlando hasn't been taking many shots from out there. In fact, they're dead last. Just 23% of the Magic shots have come from the above the break three in the last 5. So yeah, efficiency wise, the above the break three should be a mismatch for the Magic offense, but if it's not a regular part of their offense, can we really include it? As far as when I'm betting in this game, I'm on Chicago, man. I like the matchup for the Bulls. I'm pissed I missed the 5.5 because there were 5.5s open before. I did grab it at 4.5, and I took the money line. I already put it on the Discord. I expect the public to come in heavy on Orlando, and I'm happy to be on the other side. Give me the Bulls plus 4.5 and the money line at plus 175. Next game, Phoenix on the road in Golden State. Good one here. Warriors catching 2 points at home. The total sitting at 240.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we're looking at a 4-point Golden State win. Final score 120-116 dubs. Phoenix should be completely good to go in this one, or at least I expect them to be at full strength. Bradley Beal is on the injury report, but he's listed as probable. Golden State is in pretty good shape themselves. Chris Paul is still out, but everyone else is good to go for the Warriors. Betting trends for Golden State. Just 10-15-1 against the spread at home this year. 24th most profitable home team in the NBA. Golden State is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6, though. The Warriors have gotten hot. 3-2-1 against the spread as home dogs this year. On the Phoenix Suns side, Phoenix 8-4 against the spread in their last 12, 6-5 against the spread in their last 11 on the road. On the season, they're 7-8-1 against the spread as road favorites. As far as this particular head-to-head matchup, it's been pretty one-sided here. Phoenix kind of owns Golden State. Suns are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 against the Warriors. The over is also 6-1. So in Suns versus Warriors games, if you've been blindly betting Suns and overs, you're up a fortune. So let's match these teams up on the court. We'll start with overall net efficiency numbers in the last 10. Both these teams are red hot. 6th and 3rd. Both are top 4 offenses. And if we scroll down and take a look at the strength of schedule numbers, they're about the same in the last 10 games, 17th and 19th. We'll start with the matchup for the Phoenix offense. And obviously, we got to look at mid-range shooting. Suns are by far the best mid-range shooting team in the NBA this year. Look at the numbers from the last 10 games. They're first in mid-range frequency, first in mid-range efficiency. They also shoot the short mid-range shot really well. Golden State, though, actually some decent-looking defensive numbers against those zones. 13th and 10th in defensive efficiency against the short mid-range and the long mid-range shot. So not a bad matchup for the Warriors defense. In fact, on this side of the ball, as good as Phoenix offense has been, was really having trouble finding positive angles for the Suns here offensively. There's free throw rate, 15th to 30th. The Warriors have been fouling everybody, but Golden State's also got the huge rebounding edge there. I guess we can point at the Suns' fast break. I mean, Phoenix is first in fast break efficiency on the season, most efficient fast break in the NBA, and Golden State's really struggled defensively in transition. The thing is, Phoenix never pushes the tempo. They never run it. So how much of a factor are the fast break numbers if Phoenix is just 24th in frequency? On the other side of the court, we got the Warriors offense, and honestly, it's not hard to find positive angles for Golden State. Huge offensive rebounding edge, 3rd to 22nd. And on this same graphic, look at the turnover numbers. This is kind of important because Golden State, year after year, protecting the basketball is always a problem. I think they were dead last year, 30th. You can see in the last 10 games, they're 22nd. Look at Phoenix defensive numbers, the forced turnover rate, just 23rd. So the Suns don't really force turnovers, which is huge for the Golden State Warriors. And last but not least, we can't handicap a Golden State Warriors game without looking at the above the break 3 numbers. As we know, the Warriors launch from out there, and they always have. Warriors and Celtics are always going to be 1st and 2nd in frequency. In the last 10 games, they're 2nd in frequency, 4th in efficiency from the above the break 3. And it just so happens to be the weakest zone defensively for the Phoenix Suns, 17th and 26th. As far as betting this game, I mean, the handicap's pretty clear that this is a favorable matchup for Golden State. Couple problems with that. Number one, I think Phoenix is a better team than Golden State overall. If you throw the numbers out, just the eye test, I think Phoenix looks a lot better than Golden State. That's number one. Number two, the Suns have kind of owned Golden State, 6-1 against the spread in their last 7. Makes it tough. I'm going to stick with the handicap and play the Warriors here, but I haven't bet this one yet. Line seems to be moving towards Phoenix. Was at 1, now I'm seeing 2, so why not wait this one out? Maybe get a Golden State plus 3.5. I mean, can't hurt to try. So yeah, I'm leaning Warriors, and I'm going to end up on the Warriors, but I haven't bet it yet. So for now, give me Golden State +2. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll post in the Discord when I bet it. Yeah, let's go Dubs. That's all the time I have. It's actually almost 3 a.m., so I really got to get this edited and uploaded. We got the college basketball show tomorrow morning, or this morning, I should say, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We got 19 games lined up to go through. So if you're college basketball, want to bet some college basketball tomorrow, it's a loaded slate. See you at 10:30 Eastern time. If you want my top bets for all sports parlays of the day, or you want to join our Discord, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right there on the homepage. We just had an excellent week, 5 straight winning days. Let's make it 6. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.